Morning, we're back in my dad's workshop today building the wardrobe for the van. You can see the frame that we've got so far behind me, and so I'll go back through what we did with that. And then we're hopefully going to get the cupboard doors on and the side ply bit and maybe get it in the van if we can. What we're doing now is just getting the main posts and get them all in to make sure they're the right size exactly. So we've just built the front frame for the, I keep calling it a wardrobe, it's just like a tall cupboard really. And we've done this in the van so that it's exactly fitting right. Then we've got these little bars that are going to go in the middle here, and we've cut them all the same size so that we know that the front and the back is going to be exactly the same size from top to bottom. And then this top bar is screwed in here and the other side. We've set it back just about 1.5 centimetres so that it's enough so that the plywood cupboard door can be inset rather than sitting on the outside. So this is our frame we've just done, and then we're going to put the rest of these bits in and the back bar and build the rest of the shelves and everything like that in here. We're doing these screws at an angle, the ones that are going to be visible at the front, so this makes them invisible. Here I'm measuring the distances for each of the shelves in the cupboard. You'll probably notice that I'm measuring the same bit over and over again because we've learnt that we should measure twice or sometimes 3 times and cut once, because there's been a few times that we have done a measurement and it's been wrong. So I do suggest measuring and re-measuring. Here's our wardrobe space. So we're just going to measure properly in the van from the front to the back because it's a little bit off, so that the shelves go right to the back. To describe the shelves, we measured from the front of the wardrobe to the back wall of the van, behind the wardrobe. We took the measurement at the deepest part of the shelf and cut out a square of ply. We then used that to scribe along the wall of the van and cut off the excess, which gave us a shape that fit snugly against the wall. So here's the wardrobe so far. Down here we've got half an enclosed cupboard which will open from the back, and then this space is open for the battery and electrics and all that stuff. And then these shelves we're going to use for clothes. We've used the same ply as we used on the cupboard doors for the kitchen, just because we have quite a lot now spare and it looks nicer. And then under here, to hold the shelves up, rather than the metal brackets that we used for the kitchen unit, we've just used little blocks of wood because we ran out of the metal brackets, and this works just fine. So that you don't see the screws on the top, we've just screwed at the front from underneath so you can't see them up there. So now we're just going to put the cupboard doors on. Brochan's taken the measurements for the cupboard doors. We thought they were square, but they're just off, so we're just measuring it out and then we'll cut that out.
Screwing down this straight bit of timber on the plywood because you can get these Makita rails which will allow you to cut straight lines. So what I've done is place that up against the line where I want it to be, screw one end out, measure that, and then measure the distance between the line and the bit of timber. I'll just push it up against the bit of timber. Hey presto, you've got a straight line.
We're just attaching the cupboard doors to the cupboard now, and for that we are using these. They're called flat hinges, and they just help to make it a bit more streamlined with the gap down here. It's not as big with these because the hinge sits inside itself. And what we found with putting the cupboard doors on is it's easier to get the hinges on the doors first. This is our way that we find it easier. And we're just measuring for these ones 5 centimetres down from the top. We've just lined where the inside of the hinge is going. Here's the wardrobe that we built in the workshop, and we just put it in and it fits perfectly, which is nice. No adjustments. So we're just going to do the cladding down here and put the ply up here. So what we're doing with the cladding here is the same as we did with the van cladding really. So we're following this, we're marking it off about there. It's being done by eye really. So we cut that bit off. Then on this side at the edge of the wardrobe down here, we're just drawing, following this line. Make sure to do pilot holes when you do put the cladding in, otherwise we risked it here and we've got a split, so just do pilot holes before putting the screws in. Now we're getting further away from the metal, Rohan is scribing it. This is a very makeshift scribe of 2 pencils. Then we'll cut that end out and then measure where to do to for this end, once we know how far along it's going to go. Here's the wardrobe, pretty much finished. All we've got to do is get the latches, magnetic latches on there, and door handles. For the cupboard doors, we've got these magnetic catches. We got quite a high strength one. I can't remember exactly how much they were, so I'll write that on the screen. This is the cladding done. Then these are just cupboards. I think we're going to put clothes in here. And so a bit bigger that one. And then this is just to access the electronics when we've got the bed out. That we're just leaving open so it's easy to access. It's going to be under the bed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then this, Rohan scribed the ply here. Just the same method as we've used for all the other cladding and stuff. So then we've got a door here that we access from the back for this cupboard space, which is here and down there. And then we're going to have this coat hanger up here so we're going to have this space as like wet clothing, because we're going to be out walking a lot. Wet clothing and walking boots and stuff like that, so we're going to paint it and varnish it so it's protected. Yeah, so that's the wardrobe done, and next it's on to the pull-out bed, so I'll be doing a video on that next week.